All right. So we are just going to finish the last 2 pages of this. So I think we left off, is this where you guys are? Yeah. Okay. So this is kind of gonna be a review again of what we did. We did some of this in section 2-7, but basically what this is asking us is you are gonna figure out what kind of angles they are, and then dependent on that, we'll decide if you set them equal to each other or if you set them equal to 180, okay? So here's the deal. Here's kind of a summary of what you could get today, okay? If they're corresponding angles, you set them equal. If they're alternate interior, you set them equal. If they're alternate exterior, you set them equal. If they're consecutive interior, they equal 180, okay? Now, another thing that could happen, shut your mouth, please. Another thing that could happen is we could end up with a linear pair. And guys, when we have a linear pair, what does that mean? They equal 180, okay? And then the other thing could be we could end up with vertical angles. And what do we know about vertical angles? They're equal to each other. So these are the different things that you could get, okay? So let's look at this first one. Can you guys tell what kind of angles were given in A? Aren't they alternate or exterior? And alternate exterior are equal, so we just go 5x minus 5 equals 6x minus 20, and then we just do algebra to solve that. So I'm gonna bring the 5x over, and I have negative 5 equals 6x minus 5x is x minus 20. And then we're gonna add 20, and x is 15. Okay? Then if I look down at B, what kind are those two? Consecutive interior, which means we do what? Are they equal or do they equal 180? 180. So I'm gonna go 2x plus 6 plus 130 equals 180. So then I go 2x plus 6 plus 130 is 136. Then I'm gonna subtract 136. And I get that 2x is 44. Divide by 2, and x is 22. Okay. Then, if I look down at C, okay, when we look here, these two lines are parallel, or we're trying to make them parallel. So what kind of angles are these two? Alternate interior, which we want equal. So what I would have to say here then is we would want 3x plus 15 equal to 90. Then I'm gonna subtract 15. I get 3x equals 75. Divide by 3, and x is 25. Okay. Now if we look down here, these again are alternate interior. And again with alternate interior, you're just going to set them equal to each other. So I'm going to bring the 8x over. 9x minus 8x is x, plus 1 equals 8, minus 1, and x is 7. Okay. Then, if we look here, what kind are those two? Corresponding. And corresponding are equal. Okay. And then what I do is bring my x over, so I subtract 3x. Now 4x minus 3x is x, subtract 6 equals 6. Then I'm going to add 6, and I get x equals 12. Okay. Now, this is something we may have talked about back in the last section in 2.7. Did we talk about how sometimes you'll be given two angles that aren't any of the kinds that we know? And did we talk about what you do in that situation? So I'm not sure if I went over this or not with you guys, but if you get two that are none of them that we have, okay? What I do is I take one of them and I move it to its corresponding position. Did I talk about that yet? Okay, so I'm gonna move this one to right here. When you do that, these two now become a line. And what do we know when you have two angles become a line? They equal 180. So they're a linear pair now. So I can say 7x plus 5 plus 5x plus 19 is equal to 180. So we have 7x plus 5x is 12x. 5 plus 19 is 24, and that equals 180. Then we subtract 24, and 12x equals 156. Divide by 12, and x would equal 13. Okay. All right, now let's go to our last page here. And this one here is saying to find angle ZYN that makes these two lines parallel. Okay, and then it says identify the postulate or theorem that you used. Don't worry about this today. If they ask you that, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, when you guys look at this, what kind of angles are we given? Alternate exterior. And what do we know about alternate exterior? They are equal. So we can say 11x minus 25 equals 7x plus 35. Shh. Now I'm going to bring the 7x over to the left. 11x minus 7x is 4x minus 25 equals 35. Then I'm going to add 25. And 4x equals 60, okay? Then we divide by 4, and x is 15, okay? Now, this one, that isn't what they asked us for. They asked us to find the measure of angle ZYN. ZYN is this angle right here. So what I have to do then is I have to take and substitute what I got for x into 7x plus 35, okay? So if you went 7 times 15 plus 35, I believe it's, is it 140?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So just watch for that. Most of the questions are only going to ask for X, but just watch if you have something that's more than that. Okay? Now, this one right here, it's kind of blurry, but they want to know if R and S are parallel. Okay? And it says justify your answer. You do not have to worry about that. Okay? So here's the deal. Or actually, I think I am gonna have you justify. Sorry. Okay, so here's the deal. I want you guys to think about think of this line and this line. Those are the ones we want to show are parallel. This is my transversal, okay? Could I find what this angle right here is? What would I do with those two? Just add them, right? And 23 plus 75 is 98, okay? Then here, what is this angle? Wouldn't I add that? And 57 plus 41 is 98. What kind of angles are those two? Alternate exterior, and do we want them equal? Yes. So it says determine whether they are parallel, and we're gonna say yes. And we're gonna say because alternate exterior angles are congruent. Okay. Then if I go down to this one, we're looking at if R and S are parallel, and we're going to look at this transversal, okay? What is this angle? Don't we add those together? And 65 plus 27 would be 92. And notice down here, that angle's 92. So are those two lines parallel? Yes. And for this one again, it is going to be, they are alternate exterior. So we're gonna say alternate exterior angles congruent. Okay. Now, I believe I wrote a new assignment down, but if not, I'll have to figure it out. Yes, this is correct. So these are on what we did today. This is a review assignment, okay? I think this assignment is an old one, so I'm gonna change these numbers. I'm so sorry. So I'm gonna change this, and instead, we're gonna do page 209 to, and we're gonna do 47, 49, and don't worry about graphing those, okay? For today, we won't worry about that. And then we're going to do 53 and 54. And then we'll do 60 to 64. All right, so that is the assignment. Oh, to 210. 209 to 210.